I was walking around about 10 years ago at Caesar's Palace, and a guy came up to me and he said, "Can you please fix my son's headaches?" And I looked at him, he says, "No, I'm serious. My son has headaches and I want you to cure him for me." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, I've been to every doctor in the world. I have lots of money, and I just need your help because I know you can do it." And I said, "Well, I'm an illusionist. What I do is create the illusion of enhanced reality." He says, "Yeah, I know, but I need you to cure my son's headaches." I couldn't help him. I was very flattered by the fact that my magic looked so real to him that it gave him an element of hope. But I realized that, if I was alive many centuries ago and was maybe a little disreputable, maybe I would have been encouraged to kind of start my own religion. I can understand how a guy would want to not just sell tickets in a theater. It would take that ability and have many followers rather than ticket buyers. I could understand how that line got crossed a lot. It's amazing that I still believe in a higher power after the knowledge that I have about many biblical things that could be created by someone who had the ability that I have.
I don't know that I've defined God except possibly as that which is bigger than we are. Seems pretty lame, doesn't it?
That's what exasperates me about these ideas. You can only accept them on a very, primitive belief basis.
I think God is a good construct to give an explanation to things we don't understand.
And that's what they all say, the mystery of faith. Well, it's mysterious because, it makes no sense.
I neither believe in God nor disbelieve in God.
I don't believe in God.
It's rubbish. Why are you looking for a reason? That cat isn't looking for a reason for going meow. That's it. We say meow all the bloody time, but we pretend it makes sense. It's not I'm a nihilist. I'm not on a crusade. You asked me to do this film. I have a very pedestrian point of view. I don't believe in God. I think believing in God is an impediment to living this life. People who believe in God, good luck to them, well done. Don't impose your views on me. I won't on you. Great.
I'm not a militant atheist. I'm not a passionate, hardcore, extremist atheist. I'm not an angry atheist. But I have been an atheist, and I've only lapsed when I've taken LSD.
I don't know that I could tell you what God is, but I will say, having said all that, when the jet plane takes off, I always say a prayer. Why is one club more important than another club? Is the God that your club worships the same God that members of another club worship? Perhaps God doesn't exist at all. Perhaps God is a way to give validity to a bunch of lost souls who wish to belong to something. Do we have to belong to a club?
We were a small family living on the outskirts of a township outside Lahore and next to a Muslim village. And suddenly communities which had been friendly and lived together for decades and centuries were at each other's throats. And I remember my mother coming to me in the evening with 2 swords in her hand and said, "You sleep with these under your pillow. And your younger sister, who was about 5 at that time, will sleep on the next bed. And if you're attacked by the Muslims, you kill as many as you can. And if you find you're being overpowered, kill your sister and then kill yourself."
What is God, guys?
What is God?
Yes.
God is a very wonderful. He's amazing, wonderful. God is so wonderful.
God is wonderful.
He has given us many things.
He has created the atmosphere, nature,
Trees, mountains,
water, and air.
teachers, our parents.
We, the human beings, are the most loveliest creature of God in the world.
God is everywhere.
Everyone is given by God. Everyone is from God.
I see God in myself
God is in our heart.
and I feel God in my heart.
He is almighty. He is present everywhere, but he mostly present in the heart of human beings.
But when we disobey Him, He give us punishment.
I am a Christian.
My religion is Muslim. I am a Hindu.
Every religion has many names of God. But I think that God is only one. But God is only one.
I think God is one.
God is one. And we can say in different names.
That is the duty of we the grown-ups to teach the students the meaning of the Lord Almighty. God has not created religions.
I'm a Muslim and I am a Hindu.
He has created humans.
I believe that there is one God, and I also believe that there is only one God.
Trust God, do the good things, help others, love your neighbor, and these are the things through which we can approach God.
I don't think it's easy to define God. Let it be according to the individual.
Stretcher to come and pick her up because I don't think she can walk, so we're going to take her on the stretcher over to our doctors, and then if she needs to be admitted, we're going to admit her to Maheshwari Hospital.
Why do you spend your life going around disease-ridden tents?
Because there's so much suffering that isn't being addressed and people aren't taken care of, that I try to take care of the people who are suffering where there isn't any other option for them. When I was very young, I grew up Catholic, and I think the influence of the nuns and charity and good qualities were emphasized. I think what I've seen is that no matter what religion you are, there are many God-conscious people, and I feel that God is the same to everyone. It's just the leaders who seem to lose sight of the true God consciousness through gaining power that they are maybe lost.
There is some greater power above us. This thought makes a man humble, saves him from the ego, the pitfalls of life. The greatest enemy of the man is the ego.
I feel that people are being taken advantage of by the power-intoxicated leaders sometimes, especially when the people are so wonderful and so devout, so dedicated, so God-conscious, trying to do what's best, trying to do what's right. The leaders of religion could empower people to do so much good in the world, even if they would just tell them to each do one kind act to another person each day. If we all helped each other, the world would be a different place.
Here and now is life's eternal crown. And I, the dreamer who looks into the pool.
Our form of gods are not one God. It's all numbers of gods. God is a spiritual being. And when it's a spiritual being, it is the creator of the land and everything that is on it and in it.
God is the earth. The earth is what provides you with anything you want.
All the resources is coming out of the soil, and the Mother Earth must supply it. The Mother Earth is the book. Open the page and read it. Cultural framework are given by the heroes. Dreamtime heroes, these are the same people who have given us the spiritual beliefs and the dreaming track in song, in art, and in bungo, the dance.
Do you pray to God?
Not necessarily in the way that Western world pray about God. We sing about God. We highlight our existence through having that connection.
Me, I call it that higher power, spirit in control, and I got my own personal relationship with him, yeah.
When we walk through the bush, we speak to the tree to provide us honey, the sugar bag. We talk to the tree, say, and a few minutes later, when we pray to the tree, he provides us with a sugar bag.
God can be a man or woman. And then when the Christians came to Australia and put that religion on Aboriginal people, they broke every one of their 10 commandments.
I've spoken to some incredibly wise people. The wisest of them said to me, you know, no matter what we talk about, don't hold on to it. Just let the sound of my voice, just listen to the sound. And somewhere in the sound is the truth. If you're really listening, it's the space. It's the space between words. The experience of God is restful. It's, I feel, rejuvenating, the truth.
When you're abusing that spirit that lives inside your body, you've got no connection with the spirit. I mean, look at the wars in the world, man. You know, it's about religion and land. That's what all the wars in this world start from, religion and land.
When I die, I go back to the crocodile nest. That's where the egg was laid, and that's where I was born.
In our way, we say Jogoba. That's a heaven for Aboriginal people. You know? Any more questions?
I don't know God, but I know in my imagination. God is the supreme. God is the Almighty. He is the creator of the universe. He preserves it, and then, if it is time to come, he dissolved it.
Why do you think so many religions fight each other in the name of God?
It's all a form of tribalism. It has nothing to do with God itself.
This is not a conflict of religion. Hindu, peace. Islam, peace. Christianity, they are all peace. But now the followers.
We're primitive little animals. We haven't a clue about ourselves or about the effulgence of existence in which we find ourselves in. If we are fish living at the bottom of a very dark sea and we're vaguely aware of light, mainly bioluminescence from other fish, we will see these glimmers going past us. Some very bioluminescent fish will go past us, above us, and lots of us will follow it as the brightest light, but still with little idea of what the luminosity is like on the surface of the sea. So, as I say, God for me is more a direction, an indication of a course, rather than a continent or a destination.
God. We call it Yang Widi. You cannot see, you cannot even imagine.
It's a sacrilege to put a name on him because he doesn't belong to the area of thought, of language, of mind. If you feel that you can name it, you haven't understood it at all.
I believe there's an arrogance that human beings can comprehend what God is. And I think at this time in the human evolution, it's beyond our ability to understand God. I think we need to feel God, not to understand God.
Home to local Buddhists and refugees from Tibet, and nestled between mountain ranges that could be right out of Lord of the Rings, lies Ladakh, otherwise known as Little Tibet. Perhaps God has something to do with the excitement of the unknown. When you are a child, there are so many unanswered questions. Every day is an adventure, full of powerful, swinging emotions. As we grow up, we miss these intense reactions to our everyday world. Life can become mundane. Many of us try to compensate, to live life with the intensity we remember we felt as a child. Alcohol, drugs, sex, and religion are some of the tools we use in an attempt to fill that vacuum. Maybe that's why so many people's lives are governed by the search for something greater than the sum of all their parts.
We're in the middle of the Himalayas on top of the world. Hello!
And Debu ta chiluk puchigin na chiluk chigin khane ngobo na changme na ha ko ji wa ma ka so na mon. Koncho chigin khane yichi wang changme ta mi re rang koncho se han bo mi re se na wala koncho re se na wa mi re den dul ja re sal za te na mon. Debu che so na koncho se han bo ta ngo chigin na ba so so sal za te na mon. Ha ko ji ra.
Trekking around here makes you very out of breath. The air is extremely thin and it's extremely cold. So much so that shooting is very, very hard because every time I touch the camera with bare hands, my skin gets stuck to it. But anyway, it's worth it. Other people think it's worth it as well because they put a lot of prayer flags up because they really consider this place to be very close to God. I can imagine why. It's absolutely stunning.
내 창매 피해 되는 상계 좀 단데 직직 넣어서 또만 마땅 낭배 출루 창매 피해 되는 건좀 직직
아제나 건자가 지구바지 잡제서 ngata 건자가 디카이난 딩나 따다 간지 메카 파냐
건조 제 디지다 니기 땅에.
From a Buddhist standpoint, the idea of a soul is that there's something constant, permanent, moving through. And this is what the Buddhist tradition largely is rejecting.
Buddhist way is to strip all concepts, is to take concepts away from your mind and just be with bare attention to life. You look at things as they are, not the way you think they should be.
In many cases, the Buddha clearly said there's no self. In fact, he instructed his monks again and again, you should remember whatever you're referring to or thinking of or identifying with or becoming attached to or involved with. This is not me, this is not mine, I am not this.
You know, I heard one guy say, Carl Jung, he was so great. He was asked, do you still believe in God? And he said, no. He says, I know.
When you look around the world and you wonder where things all come from, that would be an indication that there must have been some origin. And for me, it would make sense that that origin was in God.
What is God? I think my earliest connection with God was that he was going to punish me if I was bad. But very soon I went to convent school and I learnt that God was good. God was goodness. And all goodness came from God. And we had to be good to please God. And I was caught very early. They say when the Jesuits get you before you're 6, that they have you for life. And they got me for life.
Without trying to be smart, I suppose also you could ask the question, what evidence is there that God doesn't exist?
Out of many reasons to believe in God, there are 4 that seem to stick out. 1, we have no idea how we got here. Therefore, God is the creator. 2, good deeds buy you a place in heaven. Therefore, God is the policeman. 3, fear of death. One sure thing happens when we die. Our bodies rot. The rest is speculation. Therefore, God is the giver of eternal life. 4, when things go wrong, many dismiss horrendous outcomes by saying it was God's will. Therefore, God is the scapegoat.
Why I'm preaching here in Massa, I'm following the footsteps of Jesus Christ. Jesus showed us the way to heaven. If all these people were not converted to Christianity, well, if Jesus came even today, all of them, they will go to hell. I believe with my whole heart that my spirit will go direct to heaven, where God is. And those non-believers, they will go to hell.
Well, here we are in East Africa, and I'm with my new best friend, John Lancoy, who's our guide and mentor in this beautiful savannah, which is inhabited by a tribe called the Maasai. I was ranting and raving, John, about our interview with Peter, the priest, who's a very well-meaning man, but he did say that he was going around telling Maasai that unless they converted to Christianity, they were going to go to hell, and they wouldn't be saved, and they would not go to heaven. That's a bit strong, isn't it?
It's strong. Nasa yang kaya mo kiridangan nisa, nagido jinala Yesu, digo menangkai.
I'm born here, I'm serving God here, trying to convert them to Christianity.
When we try and impose our ideas of how things work on other cultures, generally it won't work. We can't bomb them into it, we can't coerce them into it, we can't blackmail them into it, because we're running against the cultural grain.
And I think whoever who tries to force another one, the way of worshiping God, is a liar.
And we're currently in the country of Kenya, but we're going to go somewhere. We're going to travel to the country of Tanzania. So, do you want to go to Tanzania?
Yeah.
Let's go to Tanzania. Oh, we're in Tanzania. Here we are.
Yeah, we are.
Actually, you know, I've just thought of something. This is illustrative of something I'm doing in the film, and that is boundaries are drawn by man and not by God. Because a minute ago we were in Kenya and it feels exactly the same as being in Tanzania.
Sure.
So who's to say where we are apart from man?
You know, this thing about property and territory and borders, and people saying, well, this is mine and this is yours. That's my God. I can't believe in your God. Try to have ownership of that. We own nothing. We're caretakers.
Turn around and go away. It's the motto of the day. I've been, I have to start again. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. We started early this morning, went very far north, we turned back, turn around and go away. And so we started doing, you know, little forays to try and get in. We succeeded in several areas, only to be turned away further down the road. There is no one definitive line between the Palestinian territories and Israel. It's much more complicated here than you can ever imagine. Because there's so many pockets of different areas in the Palestinian territories. There's A, which is the Palestinian Authority. B is a mixture of Israeli and Palestinian, and then there's Israel itself. And each boundary between each of the pockets is a checkpoint. And every time we come to a checkpoint, and there seems to be a checkpoint every mile or so, it's like, no, you can't come through, turn around.